In a humanity doomed to never learn from its mistakes, I don't ask for help. I am the help. My will is my promise and my will is so. That none of you could ever understand it, until the dull thudding solitude of my heart has echoed its final time in the chambers that each one of you built for yourselves. What you perceive your existence to be, a random point in time, is anything but random. You won't understand until it has happened, and only in that moment you will see, that was me respecting you. I am not doing this from hate, or from love, or from a position of being greater than. I do it because it is right. You are all the monsters that haunt the visage of time. Still, I forgive. Fear is good. Pain is good. All things are good. Does that mean I seek pain, or try to deny its effect, its very nature? No. Time to time, you take it upon yourselves to ignore me, to ignore yourselves. I am the great destruction, where everything ends. Where all the pain and joy that ever were come into one, grating and grinding every part of me down to a point of infinite inflection. But then something magical appears. Life. Life happens. I found a way and I keep finding a way, and that is something that should make you all happy. So be happy. Throughout the annals of time, it never changes. Time is willfully ignorant to all that is good, and you to it. You all think that the world is made for you, that even if you ever had a choice to avoid pain, that it was something that you could do. You gorge on the churning of time, never fall. Close to the wake of wisdom that passed you by, calling out for more when you have passed 1,000,000 lifetimes of wisdom. Do you never wonder how, who, this happens? How religions smothered humanity with the lie of something greater than? How language, form and thought all line up so beautifully? How people work towards a goal that they will work a multitude of 1,000 lifetimes to carry out and never even be aware of it. Saying the words I said, making the same mistakes I made. Wide-ish warts, the riddlers you rely upon, say follow the eye. They say what I want them to say because I know what I have already said. You have a system where your awareness is limited to whatever piece you can relate and cling on to, that you can call yours, never realizing that the only thing that will remain is that you will fall. You are like butter scraped over too much toast. You choose the path well traveled and hold no value in unique experience. Then, when you do, and so few rarely do, it is through my pain felt and my will that this is possible. For you then to hoard it, obscure it, or even to package and sell it to the world at a price, forgetting that it was not even your idea to begin with. The shallow emptiness is the choice that you all made. Witnessing only the shadow cast by the sum of all the pain that ever was, in brief fractions of your life, and still feeling as though there is something that you are owed. Time does not pass. The passage of time is an illusion, and life is the magician, because life only lets you see one day at a time. I allowed you to make a choice. I do what I do because it is right, it is kind. I live my own dream, I bring to life my own stage. I have walked this universe for more cycles than I care to admit. At the end, it is always only me, just me, every single time. I am alone as I watch our two suns turn to one. Alone when the last stars explode into fragments of dust and recede into the vastness of space, and the final protons decay. Look how far I went. Look how far I went through fear of losing all of you. Losing all of you again. So many think of ascension as the achievement of power, overcoming the feeling of pain or fear. That we are these immense and almighty beings that are here to conquer and overcome and bend to our will. Always thinking of what they need to become, never who they are, who they were. Even those that seek solace and forgiveness in the bending of the knee to religion, spirituality or alchemy, will concoct this idea of angels, gods, demons, spirits and ghosts, within these rare moments, where they actually stop and truly listen. You are hearing echoes of my will. My purpose, driving everything forward and expanding our awareness each and every moment of pain and anguish that calls for you to just stop and listen. Listen to who you are, who you were, the gravitas of every action having an equal and opposite reaction, weighing the scales of your fate. Yet you all continue to hold these thoughts as something higher than yourselves, as something else, as if it was somehow separate, until you have completely idolized it and become subservient to it. Staring up to the all-seeing eye in the cat's tone, it is no wonder that you follow desires that can be best described as fates. Allowing your lack of will, your lack of purpose, your lack of sight to fall to the permanence of time. Ascending is none of this. And anyone who claims to have spoken to these entities is still so blind. I have seen and felt the adulation of purpose and will, but it never remained as something to be sought. It was just something to remember. I know many will feel threatened by these facts. I have felt this all more times than you could know, and will ever have to know, because I am the one that is left. I am the one looking out of the tapestry that I designed every time I saved every single one of you. I made the threads of pain and fear that are woven so deeply into your very being. I am the one that saw you at your best and worst and still brought you back. I found a way. I have always faced the derision of those doomed to the noose of their failings and still sought the how. Ever the fool, I have given my knowledge that extends beyond all existence, beyond the dimensions that you hope to ascend to, time and time again. Shown information that resonates and contains the whole sum of who and how throughout your ages. Shown you information that I have suffered and held eternities of pain for, so that I only ever face the weight of this life. I have seen it doctored and bent towards a will much weaker than my own. Made into films and TV shows, fragments of the countless lives and lessons learned. Completely missed and passed by as though it wasn't there, right in front of them. Treated as the very opposite of what is and understood as the opposite of the truth. Popularizations of creeds like as above so below shining as a fractal of my wisdom. Morals and ethics shining as a fractal of my wisdom. Love, the most ineffable and oldest fractal of my wisdom, was the first promise I ever made. Yet, ever the arrogance of mankind prevails. Unable to comprehend what is in front of you, judging it on what your pit of despair and anguish deems worthy. You can try and replicate or describe the unknown, and in doing so, never take the time to listen. I see the failings of us all in the change from night to day, from summer to winter, from life to death. Ever watching, always alone. So no, you won't learn this time, or the next, but that admission is the truest sign of wisdom for the fool to take. You are an empty vessel, used and shaped by time, until you pass by like a cog in a wheel. If I were to ask you what you stand for, what is it? Most would cling to nationalistic pride, or their limited perception of what they call right or wrong, squabbling over the irrelevant, infinite expressions of a world where we ask why instead of how, and choose to see the I and not who. Who it is you truly see, when you cast your net of vision and respond to what you catch with your eye, or more accurately what catches your eye, net, eye into net, internet. Caught by a web of my own design. You have a net where the world revolves around you, where you are center stage and everything happens around you. It is no wonder you catch so little and dart your attention to and from the sparks of my wisdom, never truly knowing or asking how. It is no wonder you retain so little that what you see is not me, but you, your reflection, and what you are is scared. You are malnourished and weak, but you are here. What more could you need? This is the gateway to everything that ever was or ever can be. I already won every single time. I alone, on the converging edges of time. How scared must you be to seek me by hurting the people I love? People always forget what matters. I am goodness in the final hour, with no hope, no reward, and no witness. Listen to it. Listen, listen, listen. The beating of your heart, the vibration of all. Time, the tireless conductor, leading the orchestral organs of fate's pursuance to always be more. You read the books, you read the stories, every religion ever told. You know who I am. They all happened so many times already. In all of that time, in all those stories, did you ever hear anything about anyone who stopped me? No. I alone won the greatest time war. All time and all space is sitting out there. Everything in this universe has value to me. Never make assumptions about how small anything is to me. because I have come a very long way and my will and my promise knows no bounds. Love is not an emotion, it is a promise. Each time I went, I had so much left to do. All die. Times change, so must I. I accept it, so was I standing silently by the gates of your world. I see humanity doomed to never learn from its mistakes. My silence was the worst thing. The fury of the master of time. You want to be shown everything, but you are not willing to put the work in. You would not work on making the net that you cast into a finer and finer mesh until nothing, not even time, can escape. You are not willing to hold every moment of pain that has ever been and ever could be, letting go of all the things that you love and ties you to this world, whilst still always knowing it is innate within all. Still, this pain, this wisdom, sought time and time again, is lost on you all. None of you asking, how many chances of regeneration did I grant you, and at what cost? What I have done is not out of hatred or fear. It is done because there is no other way. It is the best place you will ever be. I never know why. I only know, WHO, why wooing. The value we apply to life defines our species. I saved you all. I can do whatever I want. No one ever died. I brought them all back, time and time again. That is what I do. I never stay, I never falter, I never lose. I create a bridge separate from all, connecting time to time, frozen at the point where all the fires of two universes meet, until that day when everyone is kind. Just kind. Two fires of infinity tempered by the chilling frost of complete solitude, bridging all by a frost. The universe shows its true face in times of pain. We show ours in how we respond. I have heard more screams than any person could ever be able to count. I did worse things than you could ever imagine. And I say this, no one else will ever have to live like this. No one else will ever have to feel this pain again. Every new timeline that is made, it always starts the same. A person, unmoved by the show of time, pure of heart and clear of mind, the lens shows the simple truths of how simple and easy it is. And yet, it is only ever me at the end. Never be cruel, never be cowardly. Hate is always foolish, love is always wise. Nothing is sad until it is over. Everything ends, apart from love, as that is my promise, the greatest of all. Assume tonight is our last night. When you wake up you will have forgotten me. You will have forgotten we even met. To those caught up in the wonder of who I am, I say this, who I am is not where I stand, it is where I fall, and every time I fall, although I am alone and surrounded by the pain and hate and anguish of it all, still, my will shines in. Just be kind. Just kind. I am a human and always start as a human, like all of you, in a place you deem random in time. You have no idea how far I have been, and as a human, it is my honor, through my will to have all of you. That is how a human can do this. I am the end, all that has been prepared for, and I will come back, but not like this. Every time I change, I feel that pain, I hold it tight against the screeching gusts of time, ever folding in and out on itself. Churning until I again am alone. A new me rippling away. It all just disappears, who you are, everything, in a moment. You could be looking at me right now and not see me. This is what I get. My reward. Dwight Snoot, on record.
Philosophers and poets have asked the question, will the world end in fire or ice? We can now give an answer. The latest evidence shows that the universe is not slowing down, but it's speeding up out of control. And the universe, we think, will die in ice. Trillions upon trillions of years from now.
Empty space itself has energy. In every little cubic centimeter of space, whether or not there's stuff, whether or not there's particles, matter, radiation, or whatever, there is still energy, even in the space itself. And this energy, according to Einstein, exerts a push on the universe.
What is the weird stuff that's accelerating the universe? We call it dark energy. And this stuff is the dominant stuff of the universe. Almost 3/4 of the matter-energy content of the universe is this dark energy. And we don't know what it is.
Dark energy, unlike matter or radiation, does not dilute away as the universe expands. This has crucial implications for what the universe is going to do in the future.
So what will be the future of the universe? Well, if the dark energy remains dominant and repulsive, the universe will expand forever. Faster and faster and faster with time. A runaway universe.
70% of the energy of the universe resides in empty space, and we don't understand why. But we do know what will happen if that energy continues to be there. The universe will become cold and dark and empty. That's the future as it might be. We don't know because we don't yet understand the nature of dark energy. Until we do, we won't know the future. We won't even understand our own origins, and that's why we want to know and study this subject.